When you look at your phone today, on May 4th, 2026, and refresh your feed, you probably imagine your data zooming upward into the sky, bouncing off a shiny satellite, and returning to you in a fraction of a second. We've been conditioned to believe that the cloud exists somewhere in the stratosphere, a wireless, ethereal realm where our photos, bank transactions, and late-night streams live in weightless harmony. But as we dive into the data in 2026, I have to tell you that the cloud is a lie. The internet isn't in the sky, it's in the mud. It is buried under millions of tons of seawater, resting in the silent, crushing darkness of the abyssal plain. While companies like Starlink have dominated the headlines with satellite constellations, the reality of our global economy is far more grounded. In fact, over 99% of all international data travels through a hidden network of more than 600 undersea fiber optic cables. These are the hidden veins of the world, a series of glass threads no thicker than a soda can that carry trillions of dollars in high-frequency trades and every single byte of the content you consume. If these cables were to disappear tomorrow, the modern world wouldn't just slow down, it would effectively cease to function. To understand the sheer engineering audacity of this network, we have to look at the scale of what has been built as of 2026. We are talking about over 1.4 million kilometers of cable wrapped around the globe, enough to circle the Earth 35 times. This isn't a new phenomenon. The first transatlantic telegraph cable was laid in 1858, but the 2026 iteration of this technology is a different beast entirely. Modern fiber optic technology uses lasers to fire pulses of light through strands of glass that are as thin as a human hair. These pulses carry data at nearly the speed of light, but over the vast distances of the Atlantic or Pacific, that light eventually begins to dim. This is where the engineering becomes truly miraculous. Every 50 to 100 kilometers along the ocean floor, the cable is fitted with a repeater, a 3-foot-long titanium cylinder that acts as a signal booster. These repeaters are powered by a constant stream of high-voltage electricity traveling through the cable itself, meaning the internet is effectively one giant electrified circuit resting on the seabed. The process of installing these hidden veins is a feat of maritime precision that puts most land-based construction to shame. It requires specialized vessels known as cable ships, some of the most sophisticated platforms on the ocean today. In 2026, these ships are massive floating factories capable of carrying thousands of miles of cable in enormous circular tanks called spools. When a new transcontinental link is being built, the ship doesn't just drop the wire over the side and hope for the best. Near the shore, where the water is shallow and the risks from fishing trawlers and ship anchors are high, the cable ship uses a sea plow. This is a massive, remotely operated vehicle that sits on the ocean floor and carves a trench in the sediment, burying the cable several feet deep to protect it from human interference. As the ship moves into the deep ocean, the plow is retracted and the cable is carefully laid across the undulating topography of the seabed, draped over underwater mountains and through canyons that are deeper than the Himalayas are tall. The 2026 navigation systems on these ships are so precise that they can account for every slack and tension requirement, ensuring the cable doesn't snap as it settles into the 20,000-foot depths. But why go through all this trouble when we have satellites? The answer is latency and bandwidth, the two metrics that define our digital lives in 2026. A satellite in geostationary orbit sits about 36,000 kilometers above the Earth. For a signal to travel up and back, it has to cover 72,000 kilometers, which creates a noticeable lag. For a 2026 high-frequency trader in London or a surgeon performing remote robotics in New York, that millisecond delay is a deal breaker. Undersea cables provide a direct physical path that is significantly faster and can carry thousands of times more data than even the most advanced satellite arrays. While a satellite might handle a few gigabits per second, a single 2026 subsea cable like the Amity or Grace Hopper can carry over 300 terabits per second. This is the global data network in its most raw, powerful form. Of course, laying a glass thread across a volcanic, earthquake-prone ocean floor is inherently dangerous. For years, one of the most viral threats talked about was the idea of shark bites on cables. There is famous footage from several years ago showing a shark gnawing on a fiber optic line, likely drawn by the electromagnetic field generated by the repeaters. While 2026 cable designs have largely solved this by adding a layer of shark-proof steel armoring and specialized shielding, the real threats are much more human. Over 70% of all cable faults are caused by accidental damage from fishing nets or dragging anchors. When a cable breaks 2 miles down, it triggers a high-stakes deep-sea cable repair mission. Specialized repair ships use sonar and electrical testing to find the exact point of the break, then lower a grappling hook or a remotely operated vehicle, ROV, to grab the severed ends, bring them to the surface, and splice them back together in a sterile onboard laboratory. It is a surgical procedure performed in the middle of a restless ocean. Beyond human error, the geology of the Earth itself is a constant adversary. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge is a massive, tectonically active mountain range that runs down the center of the ocean where the plates are pulling apart. Cables must be laid with enough slack to survive a tectonic shift or an underwater landslide. In 2026, we are even seeing cables used as sensors. By monitoring the tiny vibrations in the fiber optic strands, scientists can now use the internet's own infrastructure to detect earthquakes and tsunamis in real time, effectively turning the undersea internet cables into the world's largest nervous system. Perhaps the most critical part of this entire system is what engineers call the cloverleaf of the Atlantic. This is the dense concentration of cables that connect the financial and data hubs of the United States, the United Kingdom, and Europe. If you look at a 2026 cable map, you will see a massive bundle of lines converging on places like Bude in the UK, Virginia Beach in the US, and Lisbon in Portugal. This cloverleaf is the most important infrastructure on the planet. Every time you make a purchase, send a message, or watch a video, your data is likely passing through one of these specific geographic bottlenecks. This makes them a major focus of 2026 geopolitics. Governments are increasingly concerned about cable security. The idea that a hostile actor could tap into these lines to steal data, or worse, cut them to paralyze a nation's economy. The cloud might sound decentralized, but it has very specific, very vulnerable physical locations. As we look toward the rest of 2026 and beyond, the demand for more cables is only increasing. With the rise of AI and the massive data centers required to power it, companies like Google, Meta, and Amazon are no longer just customers of cable companies. They are building their own. The big tech giants now own or part own nearly half of all undersea cable capacity. This shift means that the very companies that control the software of our lives now control the physical pipes that carry it. It is a total vertical integration of the human experience, from the screen in your hand to the glass thread in the mud. This hidden network is a testament to what humans can achieve when we decide that the entire world needs to be connected. It is a masterpiece of materials science, maritime skill, and economic ambition. But it is also a reminder of how fragile our digital existence truly is. We live in an era where a single dragged anchor in the Mediterranean or a minor landslide off the coast of Africa can disconnect an entire region from the global conversation. We have built a castle in the air, but its foundations are at the bottom of the sea. So the next time your internet feels a little slow, don't look at the sky and blame the weather. Think about the 1,000-mile thread of glass resting on the ocean floor, surviving the pressure, the darkness, and the occasional curious shark just to bring you this video. I want to know, did you realize that 99% of your data was wet? Or were you like most people who thought satellites were doing the heavy lifting? Drop a comment below. I'm curious to see how many people knew the truth about the Atlantic internet backbone. If you found this look into the hidden veins of the world fascinating, hit the like button. It helps us keep the light of this channel moving through the algorithm. And if you want to stay updated on the most critical technology and engineering breakthroughs of 2026, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. We are following the evolution of the global network every day, and you won't want to miss our next deep dive. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay curious.